Roisin, it's lovely to see you. And we were laughing there because at its very best, your job is about happiness, because through the department for learning and education and learning, you're making opportunities for people and you're creating good lives.
Yes, my department, the Department for Employment and Learning, does do a lot of work to help people back into work, and it is a very rewarding job, you know, especially when you see young people and older people actually getting into work and getting into the jobs of their choice.
Because the opposite is often the case, that once they get into that downward spiral of unemployment, there's no escape from it.
Yes, that's right. And I mean, the saying goes that you can't get employment unless you have experience. You can't get an experience without employment.
Yeah.
So the two go hand in hand. And what we as a department are trying to do is to marry the two together so that we can help people get experience ahead of getting a job.
That is an extraordinary ability if you can do it. And what philosophy do you apply to the ability to do that, marrying the need for experience? And you get experience through the job. You don't get the job unless you have experience. How do you bring those two things together?
Well, I'm one half of the equation there, and my role is to get the employers on board, and you're going to shortly hear from a colleague who looks after the clients on the ground.
Yes.
So my job really is to go out and persuade employers to take a sympathetic approach towards people who are out of work, regardless of the length of time they've actually been out of employment.
Yeah.
And so we've had a range of people out for various lengths of time. When employers are opening new businesses, I would particularly be in there trying to persuade employers to ring-fence jobs for people who are unemployed for a period of time, or young people who have just become onto the unemployment register, so that we can secure employment for them quickly before they settle in the unemployment register.
Is it a hard sell? Because I suppose fundamentally an employer will do what he or she thinks is best for his or her business. And you're coming and you're saying, give these people special treatment almost. Do you have to push the door hard to get in?
Surprisingly, no.
Really?
No, my experiences have been, particularly with bigger companies, they have a huge responsibility around corporate social responsibility, and they want to be seen to be doing whatever they can to help local communities. And a lot of employers like to recruit locally because they want local people in the jobs, because local people are going to stay, obviously. So the corporate social responsibility is a big player for a lot of these key employers.
And I suppose, you know, they've the best of all worlds, the employer, the best of all worlds. If you have a young person coming in as an employer, you have a fertile mind that is there to be moulded into the philosophy of the company. You also have youthful enthusiasm if you mould it correctly and worked with it correctly. And if it's an older person coming in who has been unemployed, you're benefiting from that person's maturity.
Yes, that's
Are they aware
right.
of that, and do they value that?
Yes, employers are very much aware of that, and I can sort of give you a working example.
Yeah.
To put that into context, recently Tesco's have opened in
Newry, yes. We oddly enough, we had Stephen McGill in this morning talking about the wonderment of the Newry workforce.
Yes, fantastic workforce in Newry. Basically, I asked the company to ring-fence job opportunities for our youth employment scheme, and that's aimed at young people who are 18 to 24. So they did do that. They ring-fenced 10 jobs for me under the youth employment scheme. So we put 10 people in for a 4-week training, and they were all recruited at the end of that training because they worked out so well.
Yeah.
But that was through persuasion that we persuaded the company to do this, and the company were very happy to do that. They were happy to work with the department. They were happy to link in with our work placement scheme, and they also offered the young people the opportunity to either stay on benefits or to come off benefits and get paid at an hourly rate, which they chose to do. So they actually had a paid work experience for 4 weeks before actually joining the company. What the company also did was that they actually brought these young people in at the very start of the process when they were bringing all of their recruits in. So they came through the induction period with everybody else in the workforce, so they were integrated into the workforce from the very start of the programme.
They felt part of the team.
They did, and they're doing really well, and I spoke to a few of them earlier in the week, and this has virtually changed their lives. They wouldn't have had this opportunity had it not been for our youth employment scheme and our interaction with the company.
But isn't it lovely? That's a lovely phrase you've just used. Virtually changed their lives. That's a huge thing to be able to do.
Yes, and that's the motivation for me. You know, if I think I can go in there and do something for young people by persuading employers to, you know, think outside the box for unemployed people, then that's what I want to do.
have to ask you very selfishly. I'm 70 now. If D. Rafferty sacked me in the morning here, and I didn't have this, I've never done anything other than this in my life. How could you get me or any other 70-year-old back into employment? Or should we be giving up? Should we be feeling it's time to go onto the shelf into pre-death training?
I don't think anybody should ever give up, you know, and certainly if we as a department can help you, we certainly will do that. We work with everybody. Anybody who's unemployed or who wants to get a job, we'll certainly work with you. And my colleague will be able to give you a wee bit more on what he can do for you. But there are a range of programs out there. So there are that the department runs. We have the Youth Employment Scheme, as I've mentioned already. We also have the Steps to Work program. So we will help people back into work through vocational training or through work experience placement weeks as well. So
you see, I have a vision of myself in an orange apron with Rowan written across it here and a smiling face. May I help you? Will I do all right?
you might do well for Tesco's, yeah.
Tesco. Oh, that's B&Q, goodness.
Yeah.
But all of that, the trouble is all of that sounds like work. This isn't work at all, which
No,
I have a lifetime of not working, just doing broadcasting.
Yeah, well, I would also invite you along to our job fair event that's coming up on the 13th of November. So
aren't you very clever as well as being wonderful? You guided us back onto the track magnificently. Our job fair event, when is it in Europe?
It's Wednesday the 13th of November.
Stop. Wednesday the 13th of November. Job fair. Where is it?
The Canal Court Hotel.
The Canal Court Hotel. And what time?
10 o'clock to 5 o'clock.
10 o'clock to 5 o'clock. Now put it in your diary, and we will be returning to the topic in the future between now and then. So it's only a hop, skip, and a jump away, isn't it, really?
Yes,
Just around the corner. And we'll be reminding you. But we're not too bad with employment in Uri at the moment. More and more people are getting jobs. We have teleperformance, we have first derivatives. So you need to be a genius to get into first derivatives, I think, because they do things. It's the Silicon Valley of Newry and Moore, and all. They do things across. I don't even begin to know what they do, but they're very, very good. So there is a kind of we're on the ascendant here. And generally from what you're saying, your glass is half full.
Yeah, I mean, we wouldn't be running the job fair event if there wasn't demand from our employers. And there certainly is demand from employers to fill vacancies in the Newry and Mourne area. At the moment, we have 36 employers coming to the event.
36?
36
now, you to
employers.
twist their arms?
No.
Really?
No. With our employer engagement team now, we're starting to build up really good relationships with all these employers, so we are. So they will come along to these events, and we're only bringing employers along who are actively recruiting, because we don't want someone coming into a talking shop where you talk all day and you come away with nothing.
Yeah.
So the only employers coming to these events are employers who are actively looking for staff.
Don't waste my time, you say to them.
Well,
If you want people, you will get you people.
yes, exactly.
But it's not a think tank.
But no, well, we use the employers who aren't recruiting for other events, such
Yeah, of
as
course.
workshops to help the unemployed.
Again,
to
a philosophy
better
and
upskill. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. So this one is really featured. It's focusing on jobs. So we're going to have around 300 jobs on the day at the moment.
On the day.
Yeah.
And those will be jobs that will be stamped and given on the day.
Well, they
Maybe
will,
not stamped and given on the day, but people will be encouraged to apply.
Yeah. I mean, there'll be application methods, or you'll be able to fill out your application form, or at least obtain one. We'll also have computer data points where you can go onto our job centre online vacancy taking service as well, and you can actively look for jobs on the day yourself as well, outside of the employers that are in the room. We will also have a range of employment service staff from the Newry office who will also be there on site to assist clients coming through the door with their employment and recruitment needs.
This makes me want to love government.
Yes, I have to say we do put out all the stops when we have these job fair events.
Yeah.
Shall I tell you some of the companies who are going to be there?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to have First Derivatives, who you've mentioned already. We're going to have Teleperformance, who you've mentioned.
Yes.
Tesco's are going to be on site. Norbrook are going to be on site. We're going to have Deli Lights, the Canal Court themselves, who are recruiting for staff. Bellini's are going to be looking for staff. We have Sure Freight.
Yes.
We have some care companies as well who are looking for staff. So we've got a good range across the board. That's not all of them, but that's just a flavour of who's going to be there. We're also going to have on the day, we're going to have a range of seminars available. So if you are a person who thinks, I'd like to go and find out what it would be like to work for Tesco's,
Yeah.
you can come along to one of our seminars, and Tesco manager themselves will be there to talk about what it's like to work for Tesco's, what are the benefits of working for Tesco's, what types of people they recruit for, when they will be recruiting. Now, they recruit around this time of the year for their graduate programme, so they do. So you'll be able to come along and hear lots of information about that. We're also going to have an information session from Norbrook, and quite a big company in the area.
They're
and again,
wonderful,
yeah,
great company.
Yeah, they're going
As
to do
the
the
companies
same.
you've mentioned, you know, First Derivatives, Norbrook, Tesco, they're great. Glen
Yeah.
Dimplex we have here. Newry is a sort of hotbed for entrepreneurial effort, and we see it happening. Like Norbrook, the great company that has given employment to generations of people in Newry. And generations, yes, absolutely. 3 generations at least. They're up there, and they started on a pittance.
Yeah.
And they've grown to be a world leader, which
Yeah.
is a huge thing indeed.
Yeah. So they're going to, they're giving their time to come and talk to people as well. So it'll be a nice environment to come and talk to the companies. So if you're trying to link in with Norbrook and haven't been able to up to now, come along to this event, because this is your opportunity to actually talk to the company face to face, and to sit in on the seminar and hear directly from Norbrook about the types of people they're looking for. We're also going to have TJ Morris, who are home bargains, on site on the day. Now, this is just one that's sort of come in the last few days, so this is hot off the press.
And what are they doing?
They're retail, so they are, and
Oh.
they're going to be recruiting, but we're going to be interviewing on the day for
On the
home
day?
bargains.
Wow.
So we
What
are.
do they sell? I don't know.
They sell all kinds of household goods. It's all knickknacks, and it's one of the. I think it's one of the, the value retail stores.
Oh, yes,
that are
yeah,
popping up
yeah.
all over the place.
Yeah.
And again, a very good company to work for.
Absolutely. Let me try. Hello, madam. May I introduce you to our new range of electronic egg beaters? And it's very, very good. Yes, we have the manual one as well. Yeah, but as you grow older, arthritic hands, it's more difficult to turn the wheel. This is just, you press the button and it does everything you need it. How am I doing?
Great.
Could I try?
You've passed.
Tell me this. You've passed because you're a wonderful civil servant. But I actually see beyond you being a civil servant. And this excites me. I think you're a human being.
Well, I think we all are.
No, we might not be. Yeah, I've seen people come into my studio before, and if you undo the bolt here, 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 and here, and take the plate off, you see the clockwork all turning, and they've civil servant written across their heads. But you're a human, lovely civil servant.
Thank you very much. I am passionate about what I do, and my job is to persuade employers to give us opportunities, and then for our employment service staff to match the people to those opportunities. And at the end of it, if it changed somebody's life, even if it's one person, that's a big difference.
I love you for saying that. It's fabulous. Let's remind them. What date?
Okay, it is Wednesday the 13th of November.
Wednesday the 13th of November.
It's in the Canal Court,
It's in the Canal Court.
and you're welcome to come along between 10 o'clock and 5 o'clock.
And you're welcome to come along between 10 o'clock and 5 o'clock. Little Sir Echo, Sir Echo, Sir Echo, little Sir Echo is me. God bless you.
Thank you
You're
very
a
much
good
for your
woman.
time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
And good
very
luck.
much. Thank
Namaste.
you.
Take care.
Thank you.